If you're looking to swing around New York City, you may as well look good while you're doing it.
Coming through.
Looking good, Spidey!
Hello, New York! Ha-ha! New suit, same old me.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at our favorite alternate costumes from Insomniac Games' massive Spider-Man adventure. We're omitting suits that are original to the game, as well as MCU outfits like the Stark suit, to focus solely on suits that originated in the comics. Noir Suit, Spider-Man Noir, number 1.
Well-placed web shot could make a great distraction.
The multiverse is home to countless iterations of the webhead, including this iteration inspired by film noir. This version of Spider-Man is from the 1930s and is a noticeably darker take on the character, to the point of even murdering his foes. Wielding twin 45s and tending to stick to the shadows, he's the trenchcoat-clad, spider-powered pulp vigilante you never knew you needed in your life until now. Sadly, the game skin comes without the aforementioned coat and guns, but at least you can still bring the fight to the villains of New York looking like you just stepped out of the pages of a pulp fiction detective novel. Negative Suit, Spider-Man number 90. The Negative Zone is an alternate universe whose sinister denizens have often been a headache for the heroes of the Marvel Universe. On one occasion, Spidey paid this reality a visit in order to save a trio of children who had become stranded there. While he was there, the costume's colors switched to black and white. Sadly, Spider-Man villain Mr. Negative doesn't have any actual ties to the Negative Zone, but the costume is just too appropriate not to include. Maybe you can wear this outfit when you feel like playing as a slightly more sinister Spidey, one who's a little less friendly neighborhood. Mark IV Armor, The Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Even with his spider powers, the web slinger often comes back from his adventures as a crime fighter with a few bruises or more. After all, his traditional spandex suit doesn't offer much protection. To try and mitigate this, Spidey has often worn armored versions of his costume. Previous versions like the Mark II or Mark III have been a bit bulkier, but this latest iteration is sleek and streamlined thanks to the resources Peter gained when he was in charge of Parker Industries. And with the addition of various gadgets and glowing details like his eyes and symbol, this suit is not only functional, but stylish to boot. Last Stand Suit, The Amazing Spider-Man $4.99. We all wish we could see our future sometimes, but be careful what you wish for. This suit hails from a possible future revealed to Spidey by Madam Web, one in which the web slinger takes a dark turn. After killing his longtime villain Kraven, the Spidey of this future became a much darker and more brutal vigilante, killing his enemies and thus driving away his friends, family, and teammates. Appropriately, the suit looks more rough and tumble, perfect for a Spider-Man who gets his hands dirty. The Spidey who wore this suit was eventually gunned down by the police though, so maybe keep your finger on the dodge button. Electrically Insulated Suit, The Amazing Spider-Man $4.25.
And Wilson Fisk's men are fighting over scraps. But funny how Spider-Man has faced no repercussions.
Despite his less than intimidating costume, the villain Electro can be a pretty dangerous customer. Thanks to his ability to control electricity, this baddie has given the webhead a run for his money on a number of occasions. To help level the playing field, Spidey once developed this electro-proof costume that insulates him against electrical attacks. Naturally, Spidey has kept this black and red number in his closet ever since, bringing it out as needed when Electro has resurfaced. After all, no matter how many times Spider-Man puts them away, his villains always come back eventually. The suit doesn't insulate you in the game, so stay on your toes. Dark Suit, Spider-Man / Deadpool number 8.
I bet you guys get great reception up here.
Hanging around with Deadpool is bound to have an effect on anyone. Just ask the legion of friends and associates who wound up 6 feet under just for being in the same room with him. Spidey's bromance with the Merc with a Mouth thankfully hasn't killed him yet, but this friendship with Wade has taken him down a somewhat darker life path, as demonstrated by the sinister-looking black and red outfit first worn by Spidey during a team-up with Deadpool. While it may not have the functionality of some other suits, we can't argue that it just looks darn cool. And isn't that reason enough to take it for a spin? Fear Itself suit. Fear Itself, number 7. During the Fear Itself event, the heroes of the Marvel Universe squared off against Serpent, a Norse god with dominion over, you guessed it, fear itself. Naturally, this meant all heroic hands on deck to keep the situation under control. And some heroes even got some snappy-looking upgrades thanks to Tony Stark and the doors of Nidavellir. Crafted out of Uru, the same mystical metal used to make Thor's hammer Mjolnir, this is one seriously tough suit. Add in some dangerous-looking arm blades and Spidey is ready for war. Unfortunately, Odin ordered the suit destroyed once the battle was over. Sorry Spidey, this one's just a rental. Scarlet Spider Suit, Web of Spider-Man 118. The Clone Saga wasn't exactly a great storyline, but it did introduce the world to Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider costume, so it couldn't have been all bad, right? This confusing story involved the many clones of Peter Parker, including Ben Reilly, who, for a time, believed he was the original, and that Peter was in fact the clone. There's a simplicity and swagger to the original Scarlet Spider outfit, from the hoodie to the shape of the eyes. Everything about it was different yet somewhat familiar. It's beautifully rendered in Insomniac's game, and comes with the holographic duplicate suit power, which allows Spidey to create copies of himself. Get it? Copies? Like clones?
Man, Fisk goes away and suddenly it's amateur hour.
Stealth Big Time Suit. The Amazing Spider-Man 650.
In a new outfit, some sort of punk rock inspired thing that makes sane people want to tear out their eyeballs with a rusty spoon.
Spider-Man's usual bright color scheme and propensity for being a bit of a loudmouth don't really lend themselves to being sneaky. So, for occasions when a bit of subtlety is required, Peter whipped up this fancy stealth suit. While the glowing sections aren't exactly subtle, the suit's ability to bend sound and light around the wearer makes Spidey a virtual predator, rendering him invincible and even immune to sonic attacks, as demonstrated when he used it to thwart the Hobgoblin's sonic scream. The game version of this suit retains this ability, allowing you to slip past unaware foes more easily. Just keep the chatter down, Spidey.
Surprise!
Number 1, 2099 White Suit, Spider-Man 2099 1.
Literally didn't see that coming.
Since his first appearance way back in 1992, this futuristic Spider-Man has been wearing the same simple but effective outfit. After over 20 years, the hero finally upgraded to this extremely flashy costume. With its eye-catching mix of white, red, and blue, Miguel's new outfit is one slick ensemble. It also has a ton of gadgets including jet boots, so the outfit is seemingly more Iron Man than Spider-Man. The in-game version can even send enemies flying with every attack. A good outfit can definitely make an impact, after all. Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.